about being gay, like I want to testify about that because it's kind of, I grew up in France where, I kind of got lucky because I grew up like, and things moved with me. Like, I mean, it's always been there, but like, the first law was in 1981 that they stopped, like giving penalty, or you could go to, well, you could sleep in prison just because they find you with a guy and shit. So yeah, and then we had the gay wedding started in 2013, but we had like first we had like a contract in 1998, and we all know how far it went up to like RuPaul Drag Race. I would say is the higher point we went to. So big up to that guy, big up to our black brother. I made things that going well for us in the US and in the rest of the world, but it still needs to Yeah, about that too, because I got to that point. I grew up without religion. I grew up I kind of could do whatever I wanted, even though I wasn't really accompanied by my family because my mom, she didn't reject me, but she wasn't like very helpful or like the friend you would wait for. Anyway, it's not about my mom. Yeah, actually it is. But yeah, no. So yeah, I just want to be saying that as a kid I used to love women so much, but also because I remember like first when I decided I'd say I would be gay, I remember in my mind that would be like you have to choose either you're gay or you're straight. For me, bisexual, I was just thinking people were lying, they were just pretending. And because I grew up like in this black and white scheme, pattern. So yeah, no, so yeah, I grew up like I was like I remember being in high school. I'm gay, and shit. And after that, like I don't know, you start thinking about, you hear of religion. So I got to, I had to be interested, or at least get to know what that was, spirituality and everything, which is not a bad thing. But and also like I would live that life in Paris, and you get sex easily and shit. And so when I got to Africa, I got like. I started to be maybe feeling maybe shame or maybe I wasn't so. And also because at some point am I going to fight the war? Do I have to fight the war? Will I be killed? I remember because I would be in Senegal reading like Facebook comments and shit, like people that would get beaten up and all that. So I decided like and also because I was like in a quest, and because at the time I was like. I don't want this life, I was on Grindr all the time, like I'm looking for the best partner, or I don't know what, looking for, which is, I think, so this is not, at the end of the day, it's not the question is not about sexuality, it's more about how you lead your life, and you do the best for yourself, and the partner comes in it, but you don't have to be like, I don't know, maybe the gay lifestyle is like an illusion also, but we all get caught up in this illusion, and I don't know. So yeah, I remember one of my friends, because I would be like, oh, this guy, I had sex with this guy, and he's so cute, and he's this, he's that, and she'd be upset. Maybe she was jealous, but she'd be like, oh, okay, so what? Now you're happy? You got your you got your reward, and it made me think. And anyway, so, and also, yeah, it's true that in Paris, drugs, sex, and shit, you just lose the taste. I mean, it's like if you're eating your favorite dish every day, you're getting bored. And I remember actually getting to that point where I will never fall in love again because I'm like been there, done that. I don't know. So maybe I needed also that shame, or that going inside to figure out. Also because this was like my main thing in life. And also that's where I got like maybe I got out of the gay community in some way, or got like I had to look at it from far, because because I remember I read something like the guy was saying, oh, you are you to Saint Toulon who made the gay wedding. He said you're using the gay community, you make them dream, and I don't know. It was like yeah, like it's not because this is part of your life that you have to be. I mean, it's like if you can be Muslim, or I don't know, you believe in God, but do you have to follow everything? You know what I mean? Like the whole community. Do you really share? Like I mean, like if you have terrorist attack, are you part of that, or you know what I mean? So yeah, and but also now because I've been through that shame and that lockdown inside, and maybe because even also I know, like I said, black and white, I could see that also sometimes I could, my body's developing. You grew up as a man also, and I don't know, sometimes I could see my body would be like wanting to have sex with a girl, or I could feel I was attracted, but my mind was like, no, you're gay, don't do that, you're betraying yourself, you betrayed the community. So this is funny, yeah. This is how we get to like. To defend sometimes things that we don't really care about, and we just if you're sovereign with yourself, you should just do what you want, or what you feel. And but now like I kind of fell in love. Yeah, I fell in love, but the guy is the guy I think is. Well, he was straight. Is he really straight? I don't know. But anyway, it's a long run, which made me, at least because the fact that I have to like sink back and go inside and accept maybe it won't go as fast as I want it to. Like also I just don't want to be ashamed of myself anymore, and even doing this video because like. I mean, before I didn't really care. I mean, I was always in between. I remember I had a show, like I would do a drag show, and the drag show was one thing, and then I would just put it on the side. Just want it to be like, my boyish self. But yeah, so I'm still there. So that's also my shame too, to be there and not to be like her head and not being on stage and whatever. But also, I don't know. So I had to go through that, and I just remember like when I was a kid, I had like friends, and I even would have like a little lover, but since society didn't accept it, my mother, she'd be like, oh no, and I would be like, Mom, he touched my leg, like I was I was myself being the betrayer. But I remember, so I remember that since I was a kid, I would kiss a boy in the school. We were 6. We would go at the back of the school, and and also even we had like he had a brother, so his brother would come. We would play like Santa Barbara or all the soap operas, and it was very innocent, and like now and now it's funny because you grow up and everything becomes like so this is where I am actually. Yeah. Also because I chose to come here, where so you kind of take the battle, and I actually didn't meet so many gays here because I was I was too busy searching myself, or maybe proving myself. I was a real man, and because also I meet real men, so you have to. And also it's South Africa, so you think, oh, I'm not gonna, I need to be. Because also I was working in an auberge. So I wanted to be like, people taking me seriously. Yeah. No, and it's funny now because I got to that point which I'm happy in a way because, like, I didn't really get what I want, and I'm in love with this guy. And at the same time, I fear going back to Paris because I'm like, I don't want to be. And I don't know. So it's all there is also what the mind wants, the body does your body want it. Like I don't really have you know, I'm doing sex and shit, but I'm not like really enjoy. I'm not, you know, I didn't know because I was working also. I was working. I went back to Paris after my trip to Africa, so I went from one side to another. I was working in a cruising bar, gay cruising bar. So you know, I would be like being able to get what I want, but also like still in my shame, or and also because maybe this is not what I wanted really. I want like to have a relationship and you know love and sharing. And so yeah, so this is good because I just realize now I say it's what I want, but this is why we get lost in the on the you know on the road because so anyway this was my I will try to have it better next time, but anyway you get some of it, and thank you for watching, and never be ashamed of yourself, love yourself, be proud of yourself, and don't hesitate to write down what you feel, to do videos like that, to you know we have to just come out, you know, again. I remember, yeah, this was also, you know, like when I was, at some point I got bored because I would always get the same question. Oh, are you gay? Do your parents know? When did you discover it? Is it dirty when you have, you know, shit like that? So I got like, you know, you just don't want to be like the guy. So this is it too, you know, like the battle also, you just get like, okay, do I really want to be fighting for that? And at the same time, yeah, you have to fight just for the sake of your sovereignty. This is it. Thank you for watching.